I took Nika from 0 to 60,000 euros in just 120 days with her style consulting business. And here's the fucking crazy part. We did it without running ads in the first month, without chasing clients in the DMs, and without relying on viral posts or any lucky breaks. Instead, we used a simple system that turned the followers she already had into high-ticket clients without changing who she is or what she stands for. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact 4 strategic moves that took her from likes but no sales to a consistent 20,000 euro per month business. So let's jump onto my mind map so you can follow along step by step while I show you how we built her ecosystem. This is where I'm going to show you exactly how I took Nika, style consultant, from 0 to 60,000 euros in just 120 days working with me. So let me just quickly introduce Nika. But before we go into that, I want to quickly talk about scaling an info business is very case specific, which means there's no one size fits all. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how and what we did for Nika step by step. The framework we used is called the Hospitality Growth Protocol, my system for turning personal brands into boutique client acquisition ecosystems. So let's break it down. Here's a little bit more about Nika. She had about 8,500 followers altogether on TikTok and Instagram. So before we worked together, Nika had spent the last whole year building an audience of 8,000 plus followers on Instagram and TikTok, sharing styling and fashion tips for women. So low budget outfits that made you feel confident, sexy, and could be worn for business dates or casual. She had a really deep passion for helping women rebuild their confidence through fashion. But she had just started out as a business owner. So she had no real offer, no sales process, no system, and no clarity on how to monetize. But she had 2 successful test clients, which we could use as proof. She even had set up a Shopify website where she wanted to sell digital products or planning to sell digital products, launching an online fashion course for 37 euros and 99 euros. Nika had the skills, she had the audience, and she had the passion. The problem, she was overwhelmed starting from scratch and had no structure or system to actually build and scale this into a real business. So how did we change everything? First of all, we had to monetize the audience she already had. So Nika didn't need more followers. She needed the audience she already had to see her as someone worth paying. So she had 8,000 followers who loved her styling tips, but they were just content fans, not clients. So my job was simple. Turn that silent crowd into a warm and ready to buy pipeline. No ads, no funnels, just activating the people already watching her. So we tested the waters. We took TikTok lives, Instagram stories, and engagement driven posts to see if her audience would actually pay for her help. So what did we do? We asked basic questions like, would you join a styling course, or would you pay for a one-on-one with a stylist? And the responses were pretty clear. So they were open for it and ready. So we flipped the switch and launched her offer directly through her content reels, posts, stories, and TikTok lives. Became her launch engine. The results? Her first paying clients came without spending a single euro on ads. So how did I manage to help her? My job was to switch her from a hobby creator to a CEO. So that was the core transformation. So from hobby creator, where Nika started, she was posting for fun, no clear offer, followers equals content fans, not clients. She had no sales process or predictable revenue. She was overwhelmed by content creation and treating it like a passion project. So turning her from the hobby to the CEO of her brand, where we took her to offering one premium offer, clear, valuable, and scalable. Make a predictable sales system, so content, nurture, and close, helping her with confidence to lead, so comfortable in selling, in setting prices, in delivering, in being, confident in sales calls, whatever, but also structure and the system. Business runs smoothly behind the scenes. Brand authority, audience sees her as the go-to expert. So how did we do it? We used my hospitality growth protocol. So let me explain that. So the hospitality growth protocol has 6 steps. As you can see here, we have craft your room, which is the offer. Then we are between the offer and the traffic, we are creating a growth centric ecosystem on Instagram. Then we've got the guest magnet, the lobby, the suite tour, the concierge call, and the guest book loop. So let me quickly explain this. So what we did is we took the offer and we designed one premium offer delivered 3 ways. So do it yourself, done for you, and done with you. That solves one big problem for a very specific audience, makes it irresistible and easy to say yes. Then creating the growth centric ecosystem on Instagram was very important because this was our landing page. This is where we're sending all the people to and we're getting all the people from. So the traffic was brought in by the right people. So either by organic content in Nika's case, or in other cases, we would use inverse ads to get people to come to your ecosystem. Once they're in your ecosystem, we nurture them. So we build trust with value content, genuine conversations. The leads arrive pre-sold before they ever talk to you. Yeah. Then we come into the converting process. So we let the prospects experience the offer through VSLs, YouTubes, lives, posts. They get the full package in your landing page, the Instagram or YouTube. So saying yes becomes a natural next step because they know all about you, they know how you work, they know the outcome, they like you and they like your method. And then closing and sales becomes really, really easy. There's no more sales calls. It's just hopping on a call, getting to know each other, seeing if the vibe is there, and then it's just which offer do you want to have? A, B, C. Okay, here's the link. Thank you very much. You've got the close and the new client. And then it's all about service and lifetime value. So you deliver like a 5-star experience. So let me just show you this entire process in a funnel. So I built a funnel so you can visualize it better. Normally, we would start with inverse traffic ads. In Nika's case, it was TikTok Live and organic content because she already had a big following. We sent those onto her new Instagram profile, which we optimized, where we started the ecosystem. This is where people get to know her, where they know what she's doing, what she's helping, what she's done, the client success, the highlights, story highlights, etc. So people will see daily stories, engagement reels or posts, personalized head talk reels. This brings in the value and shows the people the problem that Nika can solve for them. Once they're in here, we also have posts or stories where they should comment or DM a specific keyword, or also in her bio we have a CTA. So if anybody wants to message her or comment, they will be in the next step, which is where our appointment setter is going to reach out to them. But he isn't just going to reach out to them once they comment or start a CTA, but also when they follow us. Yeah, I'll get to that in a later. I'll get to that later. Once they're in our DMs, the appointment setter will nurture and qualify these DMs. He will send them to our YouTube, where we nurture them even more, or send them some lead magnets. Once these people are in the system, they are nurtured so far that we can say they're fit for us. We will ask them if they want to book a call, discovery call, or immediately a closing call, where Nika herself will be in and closing them, qualifying them for the offer, so which offer they are ready for, closing the client, getting a review, and then the whole process starts again with the review, because you can use that to get in new clients. So that's how the hospitality growth funnel works. So what now? First, we went into market research. We needed to know exactly who we serve. Nika's audience was mainly in Czech Republic and Slovakia. So we needed to figure out who they are, what their situation is, their goal, their pain points, and the buying power and commitment. Once we had that, we can move on to step number 1. Step 1. So we craft the room. So build one irresistible offer that sells itself. So the transformation that we did is we used style as the vehicle to rebuild self-confidence and reconnect women to the version of themselves they love seeing in the mirror. Not fashion tips, but confidence coaching through style. So three ways to say yes. So we have do it yourself, done with you, and done for you part. Each one has their own sort of thing. So the do-it-yourself is, an online course that you can take a look at with different templates. The done with you, it was a one-time one-on-one coaching session plus other benefits. And then the done for you was a 1 month one-on-one mentorship. Um, why? Because you can't scale a 27 euro ebook or charge 35 euros an hour. So you need a high value premium transformation that solves a big emotional problem, is easy to buy at a different commitment levels, and gives margin plus leverage, so no burnout. And why it works is a great offer gets 3 yeses. So yes to you, I trust you to guide me. Yes to the outcome, I want that transformation, and yes to the method. So your process will get me there. The shift from pay me for my time to pay me for the change in your confidence, your style, and your life. Once we had that, we moved on to step number 2, which was the guest magnets. So we turned followers into clients. So since we already had them in our ecosystem, we needed to transform them a little bit differently because we're setting up our ecosystem differently as well, which I'll get to in the next step. So before we started chasing new people, we turned the followers we already had into paying clients. So what we did is we tested the demand. So we took TikTok lives plus Instagram stories with direct questions. So would you join a styling course, or would you pay for a one-on-one with a stylist, which confirmed the people were interested. The second thing was we shifted the content strategy. So from generic style inspo to value-driven content that's solving real wardrobe problems. Added belief-breaking reels, educational carousels, and story-based posts, which made Nika an authority. So then we use TikTok Lives as the engagement engine. So wardrobe walkthroughs, live styling tips, and personal style stories. Selling clothes live for fun plus engagement. Sparked real conversations that moved into Instagram direct messages. Then we launched the offer directly because we saw it was working. We announced it through Reels, feed posts, stories, and of course TikTok Lives. We closed the first 4 clients in the second week after the launch. So in order to scale this, we used inverse ads in the second month. Ads didn't sell directly, they invited them to the dream clients to follow. So that's the whole point of the inverse ads. We're not sending people to a landing page with a VSL. We're asking them to follow us and come into our ecosystem where we then can nurture them. Why this works is because there's no chasing strangers. We activated the warm audience first, and then the ads built the curiosity and not pressure. And followers became leads before we ever asked them to buy something. This brings us to step number 3, which is our lobby. So where we nurture with authority, trust, and simplicity. The goal here is to turn your Instagram into a social landing page that moves profile visitors into warm, ready to buy leads. Why? Because looking nice doesn't sell. So your profile must instantly answer who you help, why it matters, what to do next. How we did it is we wrote the bio for clarity and added a strong CTA. We updated the profile photo. We organized highlights and pin posts to sell silently. We posted high value reels, teach and inspire, relatable stories that build connection, and proof posts that build credibility. So every post spoke directly to her ICA's pain, desires, and language. And why this works is by the time someone messaged Nika, they are ready, they knew who she was, they trusted her expertise, and they felt ready to buy, and no funnel was needed. So to give you a quick overview of how this looked like, is we optimized her profile bio. We used my 6-day story method to engage daily with stories. We reordered her highlights, so to say, and then we had 3 pin posts, which was the 3 yeses: the yes to you, the yes to the method, and the yes to the outcome, and a strong bio here. We did the same with her TikTok. This then gave us the opportunity to use value and authority content through stories, reels, posts with a clear CTA. This gave us the possibility to use the stories. So, for example, different wins, testimonials, lifestyle to show that Nika is a real person as well, enjoying her life, and Q&A and engagement. This brought us also to live TikTok sessions where we announced that we're going live on TikTok. How we got the engagement, you saw from the beginning to the third one, where we got nearly 70,000 people that looked at us, and then TikTok Fashion Inspo as well. So what does this do? This brings us into the ecosystem conversions. So how do we turn trust into sales? The goal is to convert warm leads into paying clients without hard pitching or pushy tactics. Why? Because trust without conversion is just a hobby. So we need a smooth, natural path from interested to paid clients. And what we did is we installed a lead activation framework. So soft CTAs in the posts and the stories, as mentioned. DM me if this resonates, or DM style to get a lead magnet. We tested different versions, different variations, mini invites that felt conversational, not salesy. So the whole point is to start conversations, real conversations. We onboarded a DM setter that qualified leads, answered any frequently asked questions, handed warm prospects over to Nika. We added a showcase video which pre-sold the leads before a call. We filtered out non-serious prospects, and then we trained Nika in CEO-style sales calls. So bringing confidence, consultative, and built on trust, and turn client wins into content for credibility and demand. Why all this works is there is no pressure and no spam. The prospects felt like they knew her before talking, and that's how we closed 60K in 120 days, calm, repeatable, and with trust first. So what we did as conversion mechanism is we connected with all interactions. We check in with our audience, we set them on a DM conversation, and we booked a sales call, which closed within 30 minutes. Why? Because the sales call wasn't a call that you needed to persuade and handle all kinds of objections, because the prospects already knew what Nika does, how her method works, and what the outcome is. So all they wanted to know is, how do I pay for this? Here's just an example of the DM conversations that we did. When they followed us, we talked to them immediately and say, hey, thanks for the follow. Are you curious? Are you here for style inspo or learn how to feel confident again? We had different variations. If they were already followers and they grabbed a room key, which is a lead magnet or anything else, we still talk to them. Did you find it inspiring? Can you give us any other tips? We had real conversations, and that's how we got this whole system working and how we inspired these women to actually become real clients. So to explain the sales cycle to you and what the difference is between a typical sales cycle and the hospitality growth protocol sales cycle, as you can see, the typical sales cycle takes about 1 to 2 months, and the hospitality growth protocol sales cycle takes 3 days to 14 days, which is 10 times faster. Why? Because the typical one chases attention. We build trust through intentional content. The typical one focuses on logic and pain. We build emotional connection and desire. The typical product is the pitch. Brand sells the product. Requires follow-up plus sales pressure. Clients come pre-sold and ready through all the nurturing and the ecosystem. Competes on features, wins on vibe, resonance, and experience. Yeah. So all of this, the hospitality growth protocol sales cycle is emotionally engaging early. Trust is built before the CTA. Content before equals sales assets. No cold DMs or long funnels needed. Feels like joining an experience, not being sold to. So now let me give you a breakdown of the results. The results in 120 days. In the first month, we launched her new offer. We did 17,000 euros. The audience was ready. We got the new clients, the new results. The second month, we did 15K. The momentum stayed strong, more clients rolling in, Nika getting better in the sales calls. Month 3, we did 18K. We upgraded the delivery. We also implemented the inverse ads to get in more potential clients. Month 4, we did a little dip because we intentionally slowed down to refine the system and also improve our offer. So a short-term dip, long-term gain. It was a strategic move. So in total, we did 60K in 4 months, and that is incredible. Here's the proof from Shopify. As I mentioned, we did everything over Shopify. So as you can see, March, April, May, and June. And the momentum is growing. We're increasing daily. And here's the best part. Nika made this work by putting in the reps and moving fast, learning fast. I handled the systems for her. I helped her to implement that. She showed up, created the content, and closed the clients. So now she's booking 15 plus clients a month easily. She's on track to doing 30,000 euros per month. And she finally is so glad that she quit her job and pursued her passion. So Nika had the audience. She just didn't have the infrastructure to turn that attention into income. So if you're still watching, you're probably wondering, how do I actually apply this to my own info product? Maybe you just started out. Maybe you've built an audience. You've built an infrastructure. You're chasing leads daily. You've sold your offer here and there, but it's nothing consistent, nothing really regular. So it's not a growth problem or working harder. It's by building the right systems, especially an ecosystem in 2025. So here's the next steps. You go to Instagram, you write me, grow, or you DM me, grow. Sorry. I'll reach out. We'll have a normal conversation. If I can help, then we'll hop on a call. It's not a pitch. It's not pressure. It's just clarity, and see if it's a fit that we can even install an ecosystem for you, so you can attract nonstop clients, scale your business, and finally build something that is worth building. Yeah. So looking forward to seeing you soon in my DMs. Have a wonderful day and please subscribe. I will be posting more of these videos soon.